Greetings everyone, this is me again, Zara Bizak. Okay, this time I'm going to show you what problems I've had. Why is this? What problems I had with this Quran ayats when I was, looking at them. Last night I showed you my research, the method of my research, and I felt that so why is it coming like this? Sorry, the screen is not being shown completely. Do I have a problem? What problem do I have here? Okay, I don't know what the problem is and how to solve this problem here now. Okay, I'm going to show you like I showed you last night. I haven't put the Surah Nisa's together. There's some good ayats for the disbelievers who do not fight you, and if they even in the, I think before the battle or what, they say peace. We'll see, I'll show you. Hopefully, come to that. I haven't gathered them all together. I haven't had the time and also my condition. What I would because of my condition, right? Health conditions and all this. So I'll be going through these Surah Nisa ayats. You can see how I have this thing realized going through the Quran ayats that even Shias have not done a thorough research from all sides, even the polytheist sides and all that, polytheist side. Now, can we please leave our interest, our bias, and be like scientists? Let's try, right? To be like scientists. When we do our religious research, Shias used to tell us that emotions even should not come up. Any kind of interest, any kind of miracle you've received in your life from Imam Hussein, or seen like we saw water coming out from Bara Imam Barga. Any kind of miracle other than even like a miraculous, because I started to believe in the miraculous God, apart from my religion, although I was a Shia, without saying Nader Ali, called Ali who works miracles. So let's keep all those things aside. I will do my best. Please bear with me because I've got this attack, which is even when I'm not with someone, but there's a force that I feel certain things about some Shias wanting, trying to question me and all this, and maybe they're not, they're ignorant about me, people asking me like, why, or because of peace, like put it under the carpet or something like this. Sorry, I don't know how to say it properly, but that something like this heavy. It's like I feel there's a bias or soft corner for Prophet Muhammad, especially for Ahlul Bayt, the Fatima, Imam Hussein, Zainab, Bibi Zainab, and all that, right? Because of that, and the religious scholars and the killing, and some Muslims saying Shias are not Muslim believers. Whatever our interest, miracle, please just for a while, just let it go so we can maybe see the truth and do justice where justice was not done, but after 1400 years at least a slight justice, right? So I feel the Shias also, please don't take it personally. The Shias failed to satisfy completely about these ayats. There are even those which are for the believers, disbelievers. Some, they say, okay, here they say, let's make peace. If they say peace to you, then don't even call them disbelievers, right? And then we have these Muslims calling Shias disbelievers when at that time when these revelations were coming down, and there were we were told this such opposition to Prophet Muhammad was there um, by the polytheists, Jews especially, a lot. And so, still, if they offer you peace, don't even call them disbelievers. Because you see, maybe, I'm just wondering, because Surah Yasin, ayah says, peace, a word from the most merciful Lord. And that's a very important thing in Islam. If they offer you peace, even if their own way, like shalom, in their own word, the Hebrew word shalom, don't even call them disbelievers or take them as disbelievers. Ayat will come in Surah Nisa. Okay, please. So let's go. Let's be, because I really didn't want to depart from this religion. You might have your mind coming up and things like that. Another thing is seeing the contradictions. You might not be able to see them, like someone said last night, that it's technically right in Surah Anfal, ayat 33, and Surah Tawbah, ayat 14, that because there they were punished through the hands of the people, right? But I don't see it technically wrong, technically right. And there's no like contradiction in these two ayats. But I don't see it like this, sorry. I see that there is a contradiction where it says that at that time God did not put the punishment, bring the punishment on them when they were even calling for it. Surah Anfal ayat 32, or a grievous penalty, right? So this 33 says that while the messengers among you, then God would not punish you, even if you're calling for the punishment from Allah. And they were using Allah calling. And it says they were challenging Islamic source. But maybe it could be that they were truly wanting, because they had an idol, Allah, or the moon god, or whatever it was, but they had, and they do believe in this Allah. So they were calling and sincerely to know that is this the true messenger? And God did not send. So this also, don't forget that God did not punish them there and then. If you challenge God, He gets angry, right? We've seen in these Quran ayats. You cannot challenge God in that way by praying for punishment. And you also see in the Quran ayats like die, they bite their fingers out of rage for you. They do not, you love, here you are, you love them, but they do not love you. That ayat also. So you see the style of the Quran ayats, right? The way God puts it there. It's wrong. Love is something, if you love them, God would not be, sorry, I say, not. I'm just still don't have that much energy, but I'm struggling. So to say that, oh, die in your rage. And then I showed you, like, closely examining the Christians. Why would Christians be angry? So if you're saying certain Christians were angry or the Jews were angry there, then let's see what was the problem there. Because the Christians, certain Christians, even all of them, should be loving you. And if they are angry at you, what was the reason for that anger? Just because you said you believe in Allah? No, I don't think so. The ayat in the Quran, just because we say we believe in Allah, the Christian, Ahl Kitab, they insult us, they do this, they do that, right? That ayat also doesn't make sense, no. Because they also believe in one God. So the Jews and the Christians would tell Prophet Muhammad that, oh, we also believe in one God. So they would insult you just because you believe in one Allah, like that ayat goes? I don't think so. So this way, I do my research. Okay, and I find the Muslim side not, uh, uh, sorry, I have to say, not doing proper research, like, not, whatever the reason may be, they feel bias or what, or I don't know why they failed, but they did not do the thorough research that scientifically a thorough research would be done. That he's a true prophet. Look at the Bible verses. Look at the verses from the Jews' books. So here I am taking a shortcut because of my condition also, but I didn't put these ayats all. I'll have to go through each and every ayat after ayat 77 of Surah Nisa. Okay, so if you would open the Quran online, ayat of Surah Nisa, it's 77. So have you not seen, let's carry on, right? Have you not seen those who were told, restrain your hands from fighting and establish prayer and give zakah? But then when battle was ordained for them, at once a party of them feared men as they fear Allah, or with even greater fear. They said, Our Lord, why have you decreed upon us fighting? If only you had postponed it for us for a short time. Say the enjoyment of this world is little, and hereafter is better for he who fears Allah. Now in Ali Imran it says, would you not fight in the cause of Allah, or at least defend yourselves? And yet they were saying, where's the fighting? Or we don't know. There are two different translations of this ayat in Ali Imran. One translation is they didn't know how to fight. They're saying we don't know how to fight. And the other translation I read to my surprise was quite different, that it says, if we knew where the fighting was, we would fight. So they're resisting fighting. Although in Surah Nisa, again, this ayat, the oppressed, this ayat may come later, if I haven't missed it earlier on. I'm starting with 77. That the oppressed men, women, and children say that, oh Lord, get us out of this country or a place, and of oppressors, and send us a helper from among yourself. Then the ayat goes, will you not fight? I mean, that's going to come here. So let's see now what, whether that is, there you can, yes, that's a good ayat. You should be fighting when someone is oppressed for them. But let's say in their ego they give you a battle. We're told in another ayat that don't be faint-hearted when you have the upper hand and call for peace. No, call for peace. Don't be faint-hearted and call for peace when you have the upper hand and Allah is with you. So no, even in the battle, why not give them every chance? And like when we're told Imam Ali was conversing with them in the battle too. So yes, call for peace. And it's not equated with faint-heartedness, calling for peace, right? Leave your ego aside. And if you call for peace, doesn't mean in the battle even that you're faint-hearted, that you're weak. So this also I found wrong in the Quran ayats, and I questioned it, and I was like, no, you should call for peace. And it is not, it shouldn't be equated with faint-heartedness. That means your ego has come up. Although the ayat says Allah is with you, but that's the way these hypocrites work, right? They use Allah. Like in Surah Baqarah ayat 204 and 205, we are told. And in another ayat in the Quran, we're told that, they try to deceive Allah and the believers using Allah, right? However they can. And I saw the way these ayats were imported and cancelling one after another in Surah Tawbah also, the good part of the polities. But how can you have a treaty with them? But if they stand upright with you, then stand upright with them. Then you're told like you're being righteous. You're being brainwashed like this. There are many inconsistent ayats, and then slowly it makes it like we made it easy for the believers. The wrecked marriage of in Surah Azab with tafsir, we're told, with tafsir. Surah Azab ayahs on Zainab and Zaid. So, what you're told there, because maybe he wanted to marry. Could you rule that out? That he wanted to get Zainab. Could you rule that hadith out, that when he went to Zaid, his house, he saw Zainab in a shift after reading these ayats? And why does Zaid come to him? So upon closely examining the verses and analyzing it thoroughly, I departed from the Shia. I said they haven't given me a thorough and an unbiased answer for that. And how can Zainab be highborn thinking that she's this when she did submit her will against her will, against her choice to marry Zaid, right? So things were not adding up as I was reading the Shia also and Sunni tafsirs. They were good believers, we were told. And then yet, even in that tafsir, Shia tafsir, we're told they were good believers, yet Zainab thought she was highborn and she couldn't get along. It doesn't make sense. And in some hadiths, it says that she was very outspoken or this and that. So that's, how can you on one hand say she was then if you are a good Muslim believer, you're supposed to obey Prophet Muhammad without restraint. If he makes a judgment for you concerning you, you're supposed to have no restraint and completely surrender your will to his decision. So like that, right now, let's see how far I go. If only you had postponed. Okay, I read all this, and an injustice will not be done to you, even as much as a thread. So he puts this in. This is from my side, I feel. Don't you feel? After I've done thorough research on some ayats in the Quran, that he puts a line like this to show you that injustice will not be done. Exploiting one Allah worship, the one power that is there, even that, and how he's exploited this Allah, and his cleverness, his intelligence, like the way his poetic ways and revelations, the way they've come. Like no one can produce a chapter or even an ayat like this. He challenges, his Allah challenges. Yes, it's very outstanding. You can be extremely intelligent, maybe poetic. We used to think artists don't. Artists would be soft-hearted and like that. But I don't know what got into him, what devil got into him to do this. I'm sorry, that I haven't yet. I cannot, it's beyond my reach. Wherever you may be, death will overtake you, even if you should be within towers. Now this is 78 ayat of Surah Nisa. Sorry, the one is really small here. This is from Allah? No. Okay. So wherever you may be, death will overtake you. Since now they're told to fight, so it goes on. Even if you should be within towers of lofty construction, that's okay. We know, they know that death will overtake them. They do believe in Allah because after here it says the Quran ayat, but if good comes to them, they say this is from Allah. So maybe they don't want to fight. And they're saying why? And the previous ayat does say that. Why doesn't Allah postpone the fighting? Allah, why have you made fighting compulsory on us and haven't postponed it? But Allah never does injustice to you in the least bit. That was the answer, and now more. Wherever you may be, death will overtake you. They know. Of course, death will come, it's inevitable. But they just don't want to fight, even if you should be within towers of lofty construction. So, we were told when all avenues of peace are, and they come to attack you, then you should fight. And when, even then, think of, yes, to protect, defend yourself. Doesn't seem like this in these ayats. Whereas these are saying, no, we must offer peace. And last night when I went through that, the hypocrite, the two parties of the believers also, about the hypocrites were divided, that we shouldn't fight them and kill them. Surah Nisa. And the one who says we shouldn't fight them and we shouldn't kill them, like the Baduans I was saying in Surah Fat, defending them. Say, not defending them because I have something against or biased way or for the Jews. I have nothing like that, but for humanity, for justice, for the reason, logic, it doesn't come up to that standard of peace which it claims, which the Muslims have claimed that this Islam stands for and is. Islam meaning peace. So had you offered peace to them and let them practice their religion, what kind of a picture would that be in Yathrib and Makkah? But if good comes to them, they say this is from Allah. And if evil befalls them, they say this is from you. Because maybe now look, think, he wants them to fight and he's using Allah to tell them to fight. For example, even the hypocrites, only hypocrites, not that they gave you a battle, but just because they were hypocrites, like for example in Surah Fat, example in Surah Azab, ayat 60, in Surah Fat against Baduans who said, please, we ask for forgiveness and we are busy with our properties and our family. No, you will be called, and so much blame is put on them that they were thinking evil thoughts, that these Muslim believers and Prophet Muhammad would not return to their families in Medina, it's their city. And all that I would set aside and come to 16 ayat of Surah Nisa, Surah Fat, sorry. Come to the 16th ayat and see, you will be, because they lagged behind. The reason was not because of their thoughts, evil thoughts, but because you lagged behind. You will be called to face such a mighty army. You may fight or they might submit. Like that, okay? So some examples I'm showing of my research, my way, my thoughts, how I analyze the ayats and where I reach from that side to this side to, looking at both sides. Why they would say here this is from Allah, and if evil befalls them, they say this is from you, O Muhammad, meaning you, O Muhammad. Say all things are from Allah. Now, okay, here it says all things. You would say, now look, you would think, what would you think about this, right? Say all things are from Allah. Evil is also from Allah. So then it changes its mind, the ayat. So what is the matter with those people that they can hardly understand any statement? Well, if you stick to consistency, then we would understand that this is a factual statement. If it becomes inconsistent, you will not, you will make a fact, you will distort the fact. No one says you're not allowed. I mean, you can use your imagination on all this, but this is about fact here. Be creative, use your imagination. Make use of your imagination God has given you. Make use of your mind power God has given you, but in a good way, right? Not to hurt or harm people. But I mean, that's just out of religion now. So what is the matter with those people that they can hardly understand any statement? Can you blame them? Here, can you blame me, who was a Shia and was looking at this ayat and saying something is wrong here? At that time, I was not that developed enough in my mind to question it like this, and now I am. This is from you. Say all things are from Allah. Now, you come to the next ayat, say all things are from Allah, then it changes. See, this person at times doesn't know, and it seems like he's Allah. He hasn't given Allah that, he blames the polytheists of not giving Allah that full esteem, that full, what do you call that, estimation, full importance that Allah is given, one and this and that. He's not giving Allah that full by these ridiculous ayats that don't even factually fall into place logically. Logically fall into place. What comes to you of good is from Allah, but what comes to you of evil is from yourself. Now how has it changed to this? Say all things come from Allah, but now it's technically or what? You see, if you go like this, trying to, okay, we'll even today, technically, what he says, all evil that befalls you is from Allah. Right? All things are from Allah. See? So but you would say that what comes to you of good is from Allah, which they said, but what comes to you of evil is from yourself. You say technically there's no issue in this. Okay. I'm not that eloquent and not that philosophical, haven't had a PhD from Harvard or Cum. And we have sent you, Muhammad, to the people as a messenger, and sufficient is Allah's witness. So we leave this open for you to ponder upon, technically. Right? Yes. No, I'm not laughing like that. Sorry, I have this terrible something inside of me. I just need to release my frustration to crack. I'm not making fun, though. This is from Allah. But if evil, they say this is from thee, O Prophet. Say all things are from Allah. This here means that even evil is from Allah. To test you or whatever it is, right? But then it goes on to say, to test you, even when you're being tested, says this is from Allah. Allah's will is above your will. And this is the plan of Allah to test you. So to make His word true, that most of the jinn, to make the word of shaitan come true. That most of them I will misguide with your might, and this is what's happening. Jinn and men all together. And what comes to you of good is from Allah. But what comes to you of evil is from yourself. Sometimes Allah even tests you with evil. Could you say that evil that befell you is because of yourself, your nafs? And Allah is testing your nafs, which is prone to evil, In Surah Yusuf ayat, we are told, even Hazrat Yusuf couldn't, said that I would not be able to help myself if God had not had mercy. So if God sends His mercy on you, then all problem is solved. You will not have to have trials, tribulations. You can just pray to God, God, please. Like you inscribe mercy for yourself, inscribe it on us also. If you are believers, then why is God testing you? Even with evil, right? So going very, very slowly. This may be very boring, but one day it might, I'm taking it step by step. So Muslims would have killed me, but please don't do that. Please don't kill ex-Muslims. We're academically in this, and I'm honest. I'm trying to be without the feelings coming up that now, since I've proclaimed I'm ex-Muslim, I have to win or something like this. No. I check my feelings where ego is coming up. Let's acknowledge those feelings because they come up. We make mistakes also after. I acknowledge my mistakes. So I don't want to get carried away that I'm right. I'm an ex-Muslim, I'm right. What you can also do is, here, since this problem has come up, you can try to zoom the screen to its, turn it around, like in a portrait way, and try to zoom it, see if it zooms, right? Or maybe afterwards, after the live stream, it would zoom, and you can look at the numbers and all this. 79 Surah Nisa. Now things come up, jealousy, oh my God, yeah, this person knows better than me, I feel insecure or something. Let's acknowledge those feelings, because here we are, and for the truth and justice, unbiased we need to be, and scientifically unbiased, although feelings will come up, because this was a religion, this took our heart, our emotions, everything, our whole being. So as I'm saying, be scientific, at least in the Quran ayats, although I know feelings will come up, but then we can acknowledge those feelings, be honest with ourselves. And we have sent you a messenger. So do you get this? That evil coming from yourself could also be that God is testing you with evil, like He tested Ayub with evil. Oh Allah, Satan has afflicted me and distressed me. No, all evil doesn't come from yourself. Sometimes God tests us with evil. So here, this would be, say all things are from Allah. Since Allah could be testing you people, He can't say that. He can't say that because these are disbelievers. They only believe in Allah. They are not Muslims. They're not believers because they don't believe in Prophet Muhammad, but they believe in Allah. So you see the problem here I had. Another problem. Okay, let me show you the good ayats. If you're thinking that I've been avoiding the good ayats against the disbelievers, like if they offer you peace, don't even call them disbelievers. That would be really great to see that in Pakistan and elsewhere where Shias are discriminated, persecuted, killed, show you, and have peace, have brotherhood in Islam, united against the enemies of Islam. Please don't do that. What you can do is, if you don't like someone criticizing Prophet Muhammad, you can complain to their authorities, right? And let the authorities decide, rather than taking the matter in your own hands and lynching them and burning them and like that, and killing them for making cartoons of Prophet Muhammad. You can write, you can protest in a peaceful manner, and in a rational, logical manner. And complain to the authorities concerned. First and foremost, take legal action. What do they call it? The law. Avail the law of that country also. He who obeys the messenger, you can go to the United Nations of human rights and all. Please don't go attacking people. It's not worth it really to kill like that. And there are so he who obeys the messenger has obeyed Allah. 80 Surah. This is association with Allah. And Allah says in that ayat that don't take lords apart from Allah. Don't make each other lords apart from Allah. But before saying that, he says, do not associate with Allah anyone, anything. And he also says in another ayat, what is it? In Surah Nisa, is it, or Al Imran? I've forgotten, sorry. It is an unforgivable sin to associate partners with Allah. And he doesn't mention if authority has not been sent down. So here we have association. And for your information, I think obedience is a part of worship, ibadah. Although technically it says in the Quran ayat that this messenger is a servant of Allah. All my messengers are servants of Allah. But you see, it's implied that association with Allah, obeying messengers, so you better be sure that even this messenger is right, true. And it's associating with Allah. Not in his divinity, although there are some translations that give you, do not associate with Allah in his divinity. But I think through the research of mine, I've even proven that wrong. Right now, I don't remember the ayats and how I did it. But not because Allah is the creator. Allah is the only one worship, and you think that the rest associating with Allah. It doesn't say worship. For the polytheists, it says worship. They worship them. And those who associate with Allah equals. No, it doesn't. Equals with Allah. Those who, yes, it says those who associate with Allah. Then some translators put equal. We'll see about that. But I think I've got a stronger case against the Muslims that this is a false religion and he's a false prophet. We have not sent you over them as a guardian, but those who turn away, this is a good ayat, like, okay, those who turn away, we have not sent you over them as a guardian. And now where's that ayat where those who turn away have turned away and they lead, but what happens as they turn away? And they say we pledge obedience. What happens? There's an ayat that says, okay, they turn away, but you know what happens when these disbelievers turn away? They mislead you. So it crosses out this part, where it says, okay, they turn away, we have not sent thee to watch over their evil deeds. But there will come a time in this Quran, there's an ayat I've forgotten, will say, turn away. Or they also make people turn away from this religion. They don't want you to believe in this religion. Now these people who turn away with their evil deeds. Let them be. Allah, the messenger is not a guardian over them. So how would you know which ones to? No. How would you know? Maybe these who turn away, leave them alone. God is, generally speaking, you would say, okay, technically, leave them alone. But those who turn away and then, Surah Muhammad ayat, turn others away from this religion, what do you do with them? Blazing fire or what? I don't know. Let's see. So I'm confused, and I say I'm confused about that. And they say we pledge obedience, but when they leave you, a group of them spend the night determining to do other than what you say. But Allah records what they plan by night, so leave them alone and rely upon Allah. Leave them alone. Very good ayat. And rely upon Allah. And sufficient is Allah as a disposer of affairs. As disposer of affairs, leave them alone. Then do not, so until now I would, maybe you're Muslim, very good, leave them alone. Then do they not reflect upon the Quran? If it had been from any other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction, which I found. Reading the tafsirs, Shia Sunni tafsir, where it is necessary, found contradictions, and even their reasoning was not able to satisfy me completely. And when there comes to them something, i.e. information about public security or fear, they spread it around. Of course, they need to announce, right, that maybe a tornado is coming. And when there comes to, maybe I'm wrong about this, information about public security or fear, they spread it around. Like hide it. Maybe not to scare the people, like you should hide it. Right? That many murders are taking place here, many rapes are taking place. Let's not tell our people, they will get scared. We'll try to, put a stop to it. The leader will, without informing the people what, this rape there, like that. But if they had referred it back to the messenger or to those of authority among them, then the ones who draw correct conclusion from it would have known about it. Now, I don't know about that. Maybe I'm wrong. This evil that they spread, security and fear. Sometimes you need to keep a secret. Oh, yes, yes, for the security, for the government, for, like, you cannot say this president is, and because, it might, or I can't say Khomeini because, it might do something. Security, for the security of the country. So in that way, it's correct, it's right. I stand corrected, right? So this ayat, we can look at it and keep it open from my side also to, I haven't really decided conclusively. So fight in the cause of Allah. You are not held responsible except for yourself. You mean fight these people who, where it's grace, mercy of Allah unto you all, but a few of you would have fallen into the clutches of Satan. So when it's a public security fear matter, they divulge the secret. Okay, and kind of. So fight, O Muhammad, in the cause of Allah. Maybe them also. You are not held responsible except for yourself. And encourage the believers to join you, that perhaps Allah will restrain the military might of those who disbelieve. And Allah is greater in might and stronger in exemplary punishment. Whoever intercedes for a good cause will have a share therefrom. So that ayat I haven't really understood. I hope I'm clear about that, right? I'll have to go through it. That doesn't mean that I don't have problems with other ayats in the Quran. Whoever intercedes for a good cause will have a share therefrom, and whoever intercedes for an evil cause will have a share over all things. This is good ayat, right? No, I also don't have a problem with it. And when you are greeted with the greeting, greet in with one better than it, or at least return in like manner. Allah is over all things accounting. Very good ayat, right? Allah, there is no deity except Him. Very good ayat for the Muslims. There is no deity, so don't take other deities. But for me, there is not enough sufficient evidence for that, not enough evidence to even persuade the atheist side. And when things come on me, I say, where is Allah? And is this enough to keep shaitan away from us? And keep us away from evil deeds, saying La ilaha illallah 100 times, tasbih. No, you have to say Allahumma, blessings upon also that in certain ways. So I thought that was an addition and all this, right? To God has sent so many what do you call it, signs, mercy to help us, to guide us. But this is the truth, that Allah, there is no deity except Him for the Muslims. I need to have more proof. He will surely assemble you on the day of resurrection, about which there is no doubt, and who is more truthful than Allah in statement. So those who also take more than one God, I have to see why they take it and all this. I had to. What is the matter with you? That you are two groups concerning the hypocrites. So what is this, right? Now I haven't looked at the Shia side, and I'm trying to push on this one for the footnote. Here it is, i.e., this is a Muslim source, footnote, i.e. divided between two viewpoints, whether or not they should be fought and killed. So I explained in my one of my live streams about Surah Azab at 60, that those hypocrites need not be mongers, what you call them, right? Rumor mongers. Different category. Hypocrites, if these do not cease, the hypocrites do not cease. The ones in whose hearts is a disease do not cease, and the rumor mongers do not cease in the city. We will arouse you against them. And then they will not be your neighbor, but for a little. And then 61 says, see, a curse seized, captured, and massacred completely. So the hypocrites is, maybe they're not even spreading those rumors, because the rumor mongers have a different category, and rumor mongers. And who in whose going back, and in whose hearts is a disease, and the hypocrites do not cease. Meaning, if the hypocrites do not cease being hypocrites, and those in whose hearts is a disease do not cease being, finding healing and becoming Muslim, because once you become a Muslim, you lose that disease in your heart. We will arouse you against them, and they will not be your neighbor. And they are in Medina. So why wouldn't you leave Medina to migrate from Medina? It's not your city. It is Yathrib, the city of the Jews. Maybe the polities gave it to them. Yes, you can live beside us. Yes, you can have this land. And they lived in peace. But we're told no, they didn't. When Prophet Muhammad went there, he tried to make peace between the polytheists of Yathrib and Jews and all this. They were having skirmishes and all that conflict and fighting. But I don't believe in that. Why? Because it doesn't fall into place. Because Surah Azab ayat 60 says, kill them. Seize them and kill them. I mean, it's a... And the ayats, the way... You see here? Like there were two groups. Two groups of you believers were divided. Now, I would be with the one who says, no, let's not fight them, let's not kill them. I would be with that group. And I don't think it was Imam Ali's with Prophet Muhammad group. It was those polytheists who were in Makkah, who had now become Muslims and were with them, like, I think, right? And because then because then the commentary says of Surah Azab in the Shia commentary 60 and 61, that although Allah, there's not an example that Prophet Muhammad killed these hypocrites and rumor mongers and those in whose houses is disease in his lifetime. Imam Ali did it later on, and Imam Mahdi will come into it. So yes, Shia is supposed to kill the hypocrites. M16, what's up, Doug? Salam, alaikum assalam. Yes, this is what I'm doing. Sorry you're late. So I'm going through the Quran ayats showing even the good ones where it crosses out everything good. Peace and this and that. And closely examining the ayats where even the Shias have failed to do, I believe. I see it. I don't believe. Sorry, there was a slip. Showing you my research, the way, looking at both Shia Sunni now, considering everything, even then I feel the Shias have, let alone the Sunnis, the Shias have not done thorough, unbiased research. This is what's up here. Welcome, and please see this. Give me a feedback. If I'm able to take it, I will take it. If I'm not, I could get angry. Sorry for that. But please be very honest. I mean, be honest, not very. Be honest. Try for one. Like, just, as we are learning, you said you're here to learn. How could have problems with the good ayahs? I can't believe it. Yes, because the good ayats are then crossed out in Surah Tawbah. And even here, like you see, that the good ayats were crossed out, right? For example, Surah Anfal ayat 33 says, Allah will not punish you while Prophet Muhammad is among you. Then Surah Tawbah ayat 14 says that he will fight them, Allah will punish them through your hands. The good ayat was in Surah Anfal 33. How could you have problems with the good ayats aren't fair? Yes, they're not fair because they cross out later on in Prophet Muhammad's later years. Right? And even, for example, look. You see, it says, I'll have to, sorry, okay, here it is. Here. This is good, right? They called for, look, they have to restrain you or kill you or evict you, O Muhammad, from Makkah, 30th ayat. Then you come to 32. I'm taking you step by step. Not 31, but 32. Remember how they said, Oh Allah, if this is indeed the truth from thee, let me know if I'm going too fast for you. Rain down on us a shower of stones from the sky, or send us a grievous penalty. Right? These were the very ones in Ayat 30 of the same surah to restrain you, meaning Muhammad, O Muhammad, or kill you, O Prophet Muhammad, or evict you, O Prophet Muhammad, from Makkah. And so later then they prayed here, called on Allah, they said. Then they're saying that they didn't even pray to Allah, but they challenged Allah. Islamic sources. Remember how they said, "Oh Allah, if this is indeed the truth from thee, rain down on us a shower of stones from the sky, or send us a grievous penalty." When they did this, Allah did not punish them. Right. Even though these are the very people who we are told in 30 ayat, evicted, restrained, tried to kill Prophet Muhammad, Allah did not send down shower of stones from the sky or send us a grievous penalty. Didn't send them a grievous penalty. 33 says, but Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them, and Allah would not punish them while they seek forgiveness. But they weren't even seeking forgiveness, they were seeking for a penalty, grievous punishment. Are these your written? I see you have many things against the Quran. M16, my written what? These are ayats from the Quran, and I've put it in notes. Excuse me, what are you blaming me for here? Huh? Written, I've changed these ayats? M16. Brother, what are you saying? Are these your written? I see you have many things against the Quran. I have a reason why I have many things against the Quran. You said you're here for learning. Now you're blaming me. I have reason. There are discrepancies in the Quran ayats, errors in the Quran ayats, scientific, medical errors in the Quran ayats. I'm just showing the easy inconsistencies, discrepancies, mistakes in the Quran ayats. Now why have you come up with this, blaming me? You don't want to learn? You don't want to see? Then why are you here blaming me now? Okay, these are Quran ayats. Please give me a feedback here. Sorry, you don't want to see. You're just blaming me. Don't hurt me like this. I've been trying my best to go through this unbiased, thoroughly examine, closely analyze the Quran ayats. Right? You're blaming me like this. This shows how dedicated you are with these prep files. What are preparatory files? No, these are ayats I'm showing you discrepancies in. Yes, I'm very dedicated to being unbiased and thoroughly closely examining and doing a thorough research. I feel the Shias failed in and the Sunnis failed in doing it properly. The method I'm using, because they don't satisfy me. Their tafsirs and all the explanations don't satisfy me completely. And I see a hypocrite, greatest hypocrite here. I'm not just against Quran ayats for, no reason. Please. I've risked my life. You Muslims have been killing for blasphemy, criticizing Prophet Muhammad. You don't spare anything to kill us or harm us or harass us or put obstacles in our way. I meant it as a compliment. You are a truth seeker, mashallah. So what are you saying? How could you have On one hand, you've said here, are these your written? I see you have many things against the Quran. You see, I have many things against the Quran, or the Quran itself has many things against itself? I see that you are here to put it this way. Huh? When I'm showing you a contradiction in the Quran ayats, and then you're saying take it as a compliment. My God, where's your logic? What kind of word games you're playing here? Thank you for the compliment, though. Oh, first you get me all this thing. Are these your written? Yes, these are my. No, I can't write them. Don't you see? I've copy pasted from the Quran ayats. I made notes. I've compiled the Quran ayats. If someone makes a graph to tell you something, right? And these, I'm not against the Quran ayats. The Quran ayats are speaking against each other, crossing out each other. The good ayats, crossing them out. Surah Tawbah ayat, Surah Hashar ayat. But Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them. And Allah would not punish them while they seek forgiveness. So they were not seeking forgiveness, so you can use this part that either this or that or both, but you can take this part of the ayat only for them. They were not seeking forgiveness. So it means that Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them. Thank you for the compliment. Now, Surah Tawbah 13, will you not fight against those who broke their pledges and did all they could to drive the messenger away and initiated hostilities against you? Do you fear them? Surely Allah is greater right that you should fear Him if you are true believers. You are talking notes of the Quran, and this you are better than many Muslims who never studied the Quran. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, M16. I'm better than many Muslims who never studied the Quran. I'm even better than, God knows what, humbly putting it, but those who studied the Quran, those who dedicated their lives to Islam. I'm even telling them that you have made a mistake. Right? Humbly putting it. I may not sound humble, but I'm trying to correct the Quran. Those who've studied the Quran, Grand Ayatollahs, Aka Medipuya, Mizan Tabatabai, Allama Tabatabai, your Grand Muftis from the Sunni Muslim, Quran only, who have studied it, who have even studied the Bible with it, to go to the Torah and the Injil. Your doctors in Islam, in tafsirs, in history, Islamic history. And I'm not trying to deceive anyone who hasn't studied the Quran. I'm telling those who have studied the Quran, who've put their entire life in studying the Quran and have studied it, done PhD. Okay? Now fight them, Allah will punish them by your hands. This is 14 of Surah Tawbah ayat. I'm not sure about that, but still you are better many. Why are you not sure about that? When I'm showing you a contradiction here, right? And the good ones also crossing out each other. In Surah Tawbah, Surah Hashar, Surah Fat against Bedouins. So much I've shown you. You should be doing your homework, going, if you are serious about this, to look and call the alims and tell them I'm doing this. You see, even though they broke their pledges, I've read the Hudaybiyah Treaty history. Doesn't seem like Abu Sufyan broke, their leader, broke the treaty when he was a polytheist. There was some fighting when he was absent, in his absence. He went to apologize to Prophet Muhammad. He went to Medina, but Prophet Muhammad didn't take his apologies. So some say that he may have instigated this. But I say that Prophet Muhammad may have instigated it. So about breaking the pledges, Hudaybiyah. But what has happened is Abu Sufyan, the polytheist, became a Muslim and gave him the keys of the Kaaba. Now the Surah Tawbah consists of that time when they went conquest of Makkah. So you're saying fight them, Allah will punish them by your hands and will disgrace them. Now, right? You've conquered Makkah. But anyways, this ayat is against, so you need to see also the whole picture of how conquest of Makkah, what time this ayat has come down. But roughly speaking, I'm giving it to you. But when you go to Surah Anfal, ayat 33, you see it is against this. Allah should not have punished them, while the messengers among them. It is my bad, I came late to miss all what you have been saying. Oh, no, don't feel bad about it, please. Now, you see, don't go on that guilt trip or self-accusation. Don't get emotional. Don't take it personally. It's not. Life can be corrected. Things can be corrected. It's not a big deal, as long as you don't falsely like accuse me for the way you put your sentence here. I felt that what is this? I could understand. And these you're written. I see you have many things against the Quran. Oh, you just mean to put in a word like that. So sorry, I didn't know where you were coming from. I thought again you're criticizing me that I just have things against the Quran. You should have known better than to say this. At this time, you keep coming here. So, it is not your bad. It is not your bad, right? That you came late. And please, this is the thing with the religious people. They become very emotional and they take it personally. This is what I was saying earlier on. Please, let's leave our interests behind for some, just try for a little while to just, any soft corner for Prophet Muhammad, Imam Hussain's sacrifice, unparalleled in history, all this, let's leave it behind and we're looking at the Quran first. To see if his grandfather was even a true prophet. Right? And any miracles you've had from God, leave that behind. But feelings will come up. Acknowledge them. And M16, please don't accuse yourself. And don't go, it's my bad, or are you going to regret it? And all that, please. So I don't mean to make you feel guilty about it. Or make your day bad. That, oh, it is my bad. No. You have all good in you. You don't have any bad in you. Your will is good, your God is, your soul is good. Just see how good you are. Okay? Now do you see this? That he should not have punished them here, because the messenger is present and Allah will punish them by your hands. Technically it also fails. It fails against this Surah Anfal ayat. Ask yourself, well, then why didn't the punishment, because they're asking for, why didn't the punishment of Allah befall on them when they're asking for it? And here it says, but Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them. Then why did He punish them later? So they start to believe in Prophet Muhammad. But after that, they see their policies being killed. And they remember, they asked Allah, because if this is the truth indeed, then rain down on us a shower of stones from the sky, or send us a grievous penalty. Now someone last night said that, well, here it would be, well, Allah didn't send down. Technically, using Surah Tawbah ayat 14, technically, because Allah punished them by human. So the grievous penalty here, why didn't even Prophet Muhammad punish them here? Tell me. And now they're being punished. Could it be what the Christian critics of Islam say, or what the critics of Islam say, non-Christians too, that when he gained power, he started to kill them? And these were the Makkah ayats, and these are the Medina ayats, Surah Tawbah 13 and 14. You see, what your religious scholars, Quran experts have hidden from you and don't tell you, like this. What the non-Muslim critics say, and then you do a research on that, whether those non-Muslim critics are right about saying that. Because these are Medina ayat, Surah Anfal ayat 33, at the time of Medina, talking about, if not Madini ayats, then Makkah ayats. If Madina ayats, if they came on him when he was in Medina, then this is about Makkah. So they believe that, oh, God, because they're saying this indeed, if this is the truth, please punish us. They went so far as to say that. Or something like, I say, God, strike me dead if I'm cheating others, if I'm lying, if I'm being dishonest here. God, strike me dead. Bring the worst punishment on me. Like, who said in the Bible, if she does not remain with her mother-in-law, I think Oprah, what was that Bible story? Sorry, so I just want to mention, like, bring the worst punishment on me if I leave my grandmother, my mother-in-law's side. Like I used to say, if I leave my principal's side. No, but Allah would not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them. Highlighted, bold in bold black, because this part should be applied there, not this second part. And Allah would not punish them while they seek forgiveness. In fact, Allah tried to punish them by facing Bedouins. Surah Fatah. The Bedouins asked for forgiveness. And then they were told you will be brought to face such an army, whether you fight, God knows, give in, submit, like obey his command, or whether they, here, Surah 48:16, say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, you will be called to face a people of great military might. You may fight them, or they will submit. But what are they to do if they don't fight them? Huh? You may fight them. Look at the way it's written here. So it's very difficult. So I have to analyze closely, please analyze these ayats as M16, which even the Shia religious scholars who have claimed to, and they have gone through Sunnis against them. Sometimes, like the Umayyads we were told were killing the believers and all, evicting them and this and that, made life hell for the Ahlul Bayt then also. Bibi Fatma Zahra and the Imam Ali and all this. Right? Please they have failed. Those who remain behind of the Bedouins will say to you, our properties and our families occupied us, so ask forgiveness for us. And you know what in Surah Nisa I rediscovered? That ayat. The Mujahideens, those who sit at home, are lower than the Mujahideens in grade as believers. But you believers can sit at home, men also. But the Mujahideen are preferred above them, who are called to fight, and they answer the call of fight, war, right? To defend or whatever. But these Bedouins remained behind. They said, our properties and our families occupied us, so ask forgiveness for us. No. They thought evil thoughts and this and that, whatever the evil thoughts they thought, and they said, when you go for the spoils of war, we will also go with you. These are the blames put on them. But 16 ayat says, say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, because they cannot be punished for the evil thoughts they thought, and changing the word of Allah, saying, when you definitely going for the spoils of war. So when you take us, they were blamed for also this changing the word of Allah. Some believers did go for the spoils of war. They wanted to attack that unarmed army or caravan. In Al Imran, we're told. So this even goes against the Quran ayats of Surah Anfal and Surah Nisa. Those believers who remained at home, did not fight, are not better than the Mujahideen. Mujahideens are better than them. It's about those believers who remained at home. But here you're told those who lagged behind, you will be called to fight such an army. And then you're told in Surah Anfal ayat 33, this part also, right? But Allah will not punish them while you, O Muhammad, are among them, and Allah would not punish them while they seek forgiveness. So the Bedouins even sought forgiveness. But we are told they disobeyed. And those who do not even believe in Allah and the Messenger, what awaits them? A blaze awaits them. Surah Fat ayat. Ask yourselves, have you done justice to the Bedouins, to the polytheists of that time? Has he done justice? No. Now how these Quran ayats cross each other out later on. You can see in the later ayats, which I'm trying to show you. But they wish that you should reject faith. Now you see, now it's crossing out. Those, leave them alone. It is simple that they weren't sincere in seeking forgiveness. Sincere in seeking forgiveness, No, you're told that if in Surah Munafiqun, even if they are not sincere, but they come to you asking for forgiveness, but they won't come. You're told that these hypocrites, insincere hypocrites are insincere, right? They will not come because they're arrogant. How is it clear to you? How is it simply clear that these Bedouins were not sincere? Can you put your hand in on your heart and say, these Bedouins were insincere? You've learned from the Quran that is the great evidence. When there are discrepancies in the Quran, ayats, can you say sincerely about these Bedouins? Who told you? Just because the Quran ayat says so? But okay, if you even come this way, M16, that they were not sincere in seeking forgiveness, I have done munafiqun. So your Allah says that the munafiqun, the hypocrites, will never come. Even if you tell them, come, seek forgiveness, they turn away in arrogance, pride, right? Takabbur, they turn away. And when it is said to them, i.e. hypocrites, come, the messenger of Allah will ask forgiveness for you, they turn their heads aside and you see them evading while they are arrogant. Meaning the hypocrites will never come seeking for forgiveness. And even you believers in Surah Nisa, there's an ayat. So that's wrong, it's a contradiction here. Bedouins sought for forgiveness, they were not fighting Prophet Muhammad. So even if it's insincere, leave them alone, right? They just wanted to remain with the family and look at this point also, their properties. Now tell me, did the Bedouins want to fight Prophet Muhammad? These Bedouins? No, right? So if they're asking insincerely, the Bedouins were lying about their excuses. Okay, but also look at this, right? Were they fighting Prophet Muhammad or what was the story behind all this? They would not go with Prophet Muhammad for the conquest of Makkah, right? That's all. But they were told that you will be facing such a mighty army, to fight. Hello, M16. Whether they are lying or what, but they're peaceful. They're saying we don't want to, we are occupied. Even Prophet Muhammad once didn't go for pilgrimage, he sent Abu Bakr. That's Surah Tawbah ayats when Jibrail came down and said, one among you should recite this. Brought Surah Tawbah ayat when Abu Bakr was going for the pilgrimage. Rasulullah was in Medina, busy, occupied with some Zainab bin Josh or someone, I don't know. Right? He didn't go for Hajj. Or they say that he didn't like those pagan polytheists going around the Kaaba naked. Some put that excuse. So that's why he didn't go there for Hajj this time. He sent Abu Bakr. Then he sent Ali to recite the Surah Tawbah ayat. This is a declaration of disassociation. Now tell me, if they're lying, are they harming you in any way? Huh? And Surah Nisa ayat also, and this against this. You can't lie about your excuses in seeking forgiveness. But here it says, The hypocrites would never come to seek forgiveness, right? You can't lie about your excuses in seeking forgiveness. So the punishment for it is that they will be brought to, they disobeyed Prophet Muhammad, yes, and they lied to him, that they didn't want to go with him. Okay, this is a good, good, very good, very good. They lied to him, so they will be punished for lying to him, for asking for forgiveness, that we are busy. Right? We don't want to go with you. What else could they do? Excuse me? How could they lie? They didn't want to go, they were busy. Yes? Or, okay, they lied that we are busy. They don't want to fight with, they don't want to go with them to Makkah. So they're asked to fight. And here you're told munafiqun don't come. They turn their heads aside and you see them evading while they're arrogant. So how can these Bedouins be hypocrites? I think they were using taqiyya because they knew he was a warmonger and he wanted to conquest Makkah and he wanted to rule Makkah and he wanted to rule Medina. It's their city, Yathrib. These Bedouin Jews who became Muslims, they said, no, we don't want to. Our properties there. So you're saying that because of this excuse, they were made to fight. And then some Muslims, Shia Muslims, say that Prophet Muhammad never fought any offensive war. But you're making them fight. Don't you see? He's a warlord. He's inciting war for the peaceful ones who want to remain peaceful. He didn't even allow them to be Jews, practicing Jews. I see that also in their city. He's put wrong blames. You don't see the wrong blames he's put on them. You don't see he's a warlord. You don't see he's a greatest hypocrite. But little excuse they've made not to go with Prophet Muhammad, you're saying it's a lie. It's evil thoughts of the Prophet. Doesn't the ayat say, but you thought evils of the evil thoughts? That's not what the ayat says when they're being punished. Yes, the ayat says that, but this is not why, because they lagged behind. Look, evil thoughts, even you Muslims are not supposed to be punished for. So that's not the punishment. Yes, because he had made life hell for them in Yathrib. He wants everyone to become a Muslim. I've seen that insight I've had. If you don't obey him in the disputes among yourselves, no, you're not a believer. You have to be a believer. So, like that. He keeps changing Allah keeps changing laws. Just like that. For his convenience. So when he went against, in Surah Tahrim, I'll come this way, M16. Surah Tahrim, he's a prophet, right? Oh prophet. Revelations are coming on him. So there's an ayat against the Jews also, if I can show you that. So anyway, about this, doesn't the ayat say, for you thought evil thoughts of the prophet? Yeah, they didn't want, yes, those evil. But it says here, that since they lagged behind, say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, not their evil thoughts, that they thought they were going to Makkah, so Makkah is his city, he's conquered Makkah, why would he want to come back to Medina? He can call his family back to Makkah. He's conquered Medina now. Could you read the ayats of Baduan, please? The most important ones were this. I've read all the ayats, M16. But I'm going to now take you to this Surah Tahrim ayat. Please. Because don't get stuck on their evil thoughts and their changing the word of Allah by asking the believers, when you go for the spoils of war, we will go with you. Right? Because you have to see something else coming up. What do you say? I will, because here he's a hypocrite. I can't prove, I can't prove him as a hypocrite here. But once I prove him as a hypocrite, then you will forget what the ayats say against the Baduans. Right? You should not regard those ayats against the Baduans. He's a false prophet. He's a transgressor. He's a disbeliever. Because Surah Tahrim, I'm not going to take you, I'm showing you my research, the way I found out he's a hypocrite. Because you don't go and emphasize on what the Baduans were doing when you find him here breaking a law. Oh Prophet, why do you prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you? Because then you see, you will be stuck at what the hypocrite is telling you, what a liar is telling you. Bringing Allah to witness in his heart, Surah Baqarah 204 and 205. So I'm really sorry, M16. You need to first see this then. Going back to my if you haven't been there. O Prophet, why do you prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you? Seeking the approval of your wives, meaning seeking to please, mardata. You're supposed to seek Allah, please Allah or your wife. And you can please your wife, right? But not at the cost of breaking a law, making something, prohibiting something, where in Surah Maida you've told the believers, Surah Maida, Ayat 87, O you who believe, do not, this is a command, do not make unlawful what Allah has made the good things that Allah has made lawful for you, and transgress. Do you understand? When you need to expose a hypocrite, you can't go to the ayats where they're blame upon blame, shoving blame upon blame on the Baduans. Or it's saying they're our enemy. When this Quran ayat and with the Surah Maida ayat 87 proves that he's a hypocrite, Surah Saf says what? And what does Surah Saf ayat 2 and 3 say? 3 and 4 maybe. O believers, do not say what you do not do. Most hateful is in the eyes of Allah that you say what you do not do yourself. Of course you can go pleasing your wife, but not on oath, breaking a command of Allah that you have to give, and you have given to the believers. Maybe at Surah Maida it has come down, 87, right? What does this prove? Prophet should have waited for patiently. Oh, be patient, be determined. Surely prayer and adversary, you believers are told to remain patient, determined with prayer, that God may send help for you. But be patient until God sends help. So be patient until God sends a revelation. What are you to do with these two ayat, with these two wives? Imam Ali said, divorce Aisha. Now don't tell me Shias don't say that. Imam Ali told him to divorce Aisha. But to take an oath and prohibit yourself. Hearken not to the hypocrites You know these wives are hypocrites, Shias. At this time they are. Even the Sunnis can't deny that. Whoever annoys the Prophet, divulging secret of his, if you two do not desist, this is like war against them. At this point, even the Sunnis cannot deny that these two wives are hypocrites and non-Muslims. They've gone to kufr, disbelief. And he's seeking to please them and prohibiting what Allah has made lawful for you, O Prophet. While revelations are coming down. On the other hand, he's telling, where is it? Why do you righteousness on others, expect others to be righteous, and you don't practice. This is against the Jews, right? Ahl Kitab, especially the Jews here. If you read in Tafsir, while you are reciting your scriptures. Now, while the revelation is coming down on Prophet, how? On one hand, this. Look at this. What? I can't understand. Oh, then you will never understand M16. Sorry. You're coming with a bias. And you're giving lame excuses. I can't understand with only part of the ayah. I have to see it in full. Sometimes you need to see the part of the ayah which is wrong and not the full. Right? The part of the ayah in Surah Nur, ayah 33, then you will never see it. Then you're wasting your time here with me and my work, hard work. Do you preach righteousness? Then sorry, I don't have that much patience, M16. Sorry, brother. You're not helping me, you're hurting me. Because then I just... What part of the ayat? I've given you the whole ayat, for God's sakes. And that part which is problematic, I don't know, sorry, I don't understand you either. Do you order righteousness of the people? Are you trying to, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to learn, or are you trying to, you don't know? My research type? If you haven't got it by now, then you'll never get it. Then you'll be changing your capricious way. You'll be saying, oh no, I'm bad, I said this. And then you'll say, but you find bad things in the Quran. You just want to, are you trying to say that? What are you trying to say? Or you're trying to show that you're good by saying, I'm bad. And then you're putting, what are you trying to do here? What kind of a person are you? So I can't understand with only the part which is problematic I give, and then I explain the other parts, this part through other ayats, that he's a hypocrite. This is what I am explaining, showing through Quran ayats. For God's sakes. Now you're getting me angry, and then someone will come here and say she's a mad human. What do you want? What do you want? Please tell me, what do you want? You want the full ayat? How do you want me to take it then? M16 to satisfy you and your belief in the Quran ayahs. Huh? I've been logical, step by step, explaining. I can't understand with, then you, what is this? What can you not understand? M16, what can you not understand? It's clear. He's a hypocrite. You only take that part of the ayat to show. And you're protected from breaking oaths. Which part of this Surah Tahrim ayat you couldn't understand? So you only understand the parts where your muftis and your Quran experts have shown you, without evidence, without seeping through, without logical deductions, without closely analyzing, unbiased way. Is that how you understand? Is that how you understand? Please say yes or no. Which way will you understand and see? What is your education? Which class did you go to? Which college? I mean, how far did you reach in your education? This is my innovative way of showing. No one will show it to you like this. I've never seen someone. How you closely examine the verses, unbiased, exhausting the polytheist side. Could there be a chance of them to have said it sincerely? Forgiveness. At least they're not causing disruption. Baduan side. You're just reaching a conclusion by what the ayat is telling you. You're just gulping, drinking what the ayats are telling you without seeking the way I'm seeking. So you are not in that position. You don't have that. And what are you saying here? You don't make sense to me. If the Quran is your evidence in whatever it says, then please go for it. You have just taken it blindly as evidence without contemplating whether it has discrepancies, or without seeing which Quran ayats are problematic, which have discrepancies. Without doing that research, you believe in the Quran ayats, then what can I do? What else can I do for you? How can I show you? Then here we part. Then be sensible and leave. And don't waste my time and your time. Right? If you can't understand even now, after so many years, I've been here. Then you just want to take the Quran ayats as they are without experimenting, without academically questioning, logical research, unbiased, exhausting, Baduan side, whether they were honest or not, whether, let's see if this person is lying, if this is a false prophet, you comparing with the Bible verses. Also, look into your verses, it confirms. Then even the Christians will be like, what is this? Jews will be like, what is she saying? Or what is he saying? Sister, you sound like a female. So you haven't told me whether you're female or not. But how are you, if you don't, I'm sorry. How else can I help you? You know what is the criteria for knowing if the Quran, a holy scripture, is true or not? Do you know the criteria? Do you know the conditions where it goes through filtering? Do you know those conditions? Do you know how judges are also? When I'm saying unbiased, Do you know how judges are trained to become judges? Not lawyers, but judges. After lawyer, judge. Do you know that? They can't have any self-interest in it. They should be unbiased. If they have something against, they would the different change. Or if you are the judge, they will change the judge. Or if they know the criminal personally or something like that. You know the criteria, the prerequisites. The prerequisites, testing, putting this Quran into through a test of whether it is right or wrong or true or false. How to bring about, how to find evidence. Have you been taught that or not? I've taken this time out for you and you're telling me you come to the zero. Circle, you're going round in circles and you're coming back to your this thing. I can't understand with only part of the ayah, I have to see it in full. What do you mean by this? Have I given you half an ayah? Pardon me? Have I given you half of the ayah? When I give you the full picture, someone says here, you're stuffing it too much. How do we come with you to show you? Can you clarify for me how? Where did I show you half of the ayah? Huh? It's a part of surah. I did not show you half ayah. M16. Sorry, I don't have that much patience. I'm getting a headache. Can't breathe properly. Oh my God. You just don't want to admit, right? You are scared. Person who tries his best. Why are you scared? Do you command mankind to Do you order righteousness of the people and forget yourselves while you recite the scripture? Then will you not reason? They are told to reason. And if you don't use reason, what's the Quran ayat? God will put abomination on you, ritz on you, impurity on you. You'll be najis, like the polytheists. We are told are in Surah Tawbah. Now what half ayat have I given you? I'm explaining to you Surah Tahrim ayat 1 and with this also ayat I've given you. Surah Maida about this, that you are not supposed to. It's a command for the believers. In Surah Maida ayat 87. O believers, do not forbid the good things which Allah has made lawful for you. Hello, good things which Allah has made lawful. Do not. It's a command here to the believers. For the believers to not. Where are you now? Which half ayat have I given you? Or I haven't given you the full picture. Last night I've been showing the good ayats and how I analyzed them and I reached a conclusion. I saw it that this is a deceptive person. Extremely deceptive. He's deceived Allah and the believers. His ayat against himself. He's Surah Baqarah ayat 204. He calls Allah to witness. But he does many wrongs. He cuts down crops, he fights, kills people. He spreads a lot of corruption and mischief in the name of Allah, calling Allah to witness to his heart, what is in his heart. That one Allah, you say, cannot stop him from doing what he does. Now, do you want to see the whole ayat? M16. I left Surah Nisa ayats for you to show you. My God. Believers, do not hold as unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful for you. Look at the footnotes. Also, it's load. Where are the footnotes? They're not loading. Believers, do not. Why aren't they loading? Loading here. My tongue is tired, my mouth is tired. It's not loading. It means it's a command by Allah, right? Do not. Do you see the command? Do not. Allah's command is, do not hold as unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful for you. Not even the obligatory things, but just the good things. And do not exceed the bounds of right. Allah does not love those who transgress the bounds of right. Right? So if Allah tells you, do not make unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful to you, if you make lawful the good thing which Allah has made lawful, if you make unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful to you, you would also be among those exceeding the bounds of right, as in Surah Tawbah against Jews and Christians, Ahl Kitab. They make unlawful they make lawful what Allah has made unlawful for them. Fight them, make them pay the jizya. So here, step by step, I'm showing you regarding making unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful to you. You should not do, believers. It's a command. Right? Also this. So then Surah Tahrim or Prophet, it's about why do you prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you? The good thing, like Maria the Coptic. Also seeking the approval of your wives, meaning seeking to please. Please, the word is please here. See this, please. Your wives. You can't do this when your Allah has told the believers through Him to command. It's an order of Allah. How can He be doing it? And the Muslims say, no, He can do this. You can please your wives. But we say according to the daira, boundaries of Islam, the commandments, the principles of Islam. While he's going beyond the principle of Islam, seeking to please his wives, taking an oath. That's why second ayat says, Allah has already ordained for you, the Muslims, dissolution of your oaths. And Allah is your protector and He's knowing the wise. Even if you look at the tafsir of this ayat, it doesn't make sense. Because he's a prophet on whom the revelations, now he's a prophet. Even the Sunnis cannot deny here that he's not a prophet here. When he adopted Zayd, they said he wasn't a prophet at that time. Right? Even the Sunnis cannot deny here that he was not a prophet. So you look at another ayat, if you don't believe me because so many lies and deceptions you have been brainwashed into thinking soft corner for Prophet Muhammad is Hussein. Like last time you came one time and he said, why be rude about Imam Hussein? Okay? And asked you whether you are Shia or Sunni, you didn't answer. So why are you hiding some things? Like, huh? You don't trust me. You see, you don't trust my work, it seems. You just put water on it in the end. You compliment, one day you say this, another day you say that. It's very capricious. So when you said, I am bad, I think that is what you need to look at. You've become capricious. Duai Kumail. The soul is capricious, changing. One day you're complimenting me, another time the phrase you put in here makes me think that I'm just going against the Quran ayats without reason, without studying it, without analyzing it properly, seeing it, showing you my method step by step. The soul is capricious, and this is what you need to see. The soul is capricious. I don't know where this dua came from, and I don't even agree to it, but I don't know why you're right. It says here in Dua Kumail that, oh Allah, my soul is capricious, or something to that effect. Forgive those who cut down the hopes, sins supplicated. Oh Allah, forgive every sin I have committed. To provide. Where does it hasn't? I'll have to go through. The soul is capricious. It says here. You know what capricious means, right? It changes. Given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. Even your these comments here. I really don't know where you're coming from. It means I have failed in. What have I failed in? To make you understand. I've given you a whole ayat from Surah Tahrim. Told you about the wives, how the Sunnis would take it, how the Shias would take it. Now what do you need? You just don't want to accept it here. So your Allah has made your soul capricious, bad. One day you're saying this, another day you're saying that. You cannot be relied upon yourself. You cannot rely upon yourself. Then how can you understand a single fact? I've been showing you, leading you hand, with your hand, holding you. What is it that you can't understand? It's so clear. Okay, if you don't understand, I'm sorry. Next time, don't come here. Okay? I've already proven this Prophet Muhammad, Surah Tahrim ayat, Surah Baqarah ayat 44, Surah Saf ayats 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, Surah Maida ayat 87. And it is not simple as you think it is. right? Because you're taking it from a hypocrite, a false prophet. Those Bedouins didn't want to go with him. And they had the right to even make an excuse. Abraham made an excuse to break the idols and lied. There he's not punished. Abraham faltered, didn't know how to judge between the two brothers. There he was punished. He had to repent. He realized his mistake. Prophets are realizing their mistakes, making mistakes. How can you rely on them? Later on even. Abraham lied. That's okay because he's on the right. No, but that's a lie. It's a white lie. It's a lie. When they asked him, Abraham, who? They even asked him, who? They didn't just take him and throw him in the fire. You investigate about the Quran ayats, for goodness sake. Just don't gulp it. No, it's not simple. It is simple they weren't sincere in seeking forgiveness. No, it's not simple. Just because your Allah has said it, this Quran has said it, the ayats are there, it's not that simple. And if the Mujahideen, Surah, it's not simple at all. It's simple for you because you believe in the lies the Quran ayats have told you. And you haven't done your research like I do, and I'm showing how I'm doing it against big Quran experts. Ancient, 1400, since 1400 years. Against an Imam who says he's the sole interpreter, Ismaili Hazir Imam, he's present on earth. And he's apparent, he's showing himself, he's not hiding like the 12th Imam, Imam Mahdi, Shia 12th Imam. You know what an organization he's made and how he's helped his people and how he protects his people and how he makes them progress and peacefully and all this. Against him also, he's present here, right? Would you say it's simple? They are non-Muslims because they say, Ya Ali Madad. A 12er Shia says it's simple. He's a false Imam. He's Nijis. Right? He'll go in the lowest abyss of the fire. Even though he says, his murid say, Ya Ali Madad in greeting. What did Prophet Muhammad say in Najul Balagha to Imam Ali? That, oh Ali, no hypocrite will love you, even if you give the whole world to him. How come the 12er Shias even say against this Ismailis and their Imam? And, oh Ali, no believer will hate you, even if you take the sword and kill him. How can these Ya Ali Madad greetings Ismaili Shia say be hypocrites? They keep praising Ali, and then Shah Karim, their present Imam. But before praising Shah Karim al-Husseini, they praise Ali to no end. Now tell me, 12er Shias and Ismaili Shias at loggerheads, schisms, saying no, these are false, followers of false Imam. Please. So here I am, showing you my research. Where was I going to now? I forgot, sorry. Oh, my ears. You won't see it. What can I do? Shall I go to Surah Safayat? Oh, believers. Believers are reminded, oh, you have believed. That's why I say, listen to my, ponder over it. You've been here, come on, you know. Take time. The ayats which I've seen have problems of analyzing from all sides, exhausting why these Bedouins would be seeking forgiveness and not wanting to go with Prophet Muhammad. I've seen all that. Go through it. These are just guidelines. I can also hold your hand and try, but in the end, if you're telling me I can't understand with only part of the ayah, you're blaming me for giving part of the ayah. I have to see it in full. Which ayah do you want to see in full? Tell me. What you need to see in full? I can show you in full. I've shown you in one of my videos. Please tell me, what in full do you need to see? Even the Shias have not done fully. You will not be able to. I don't think you'll fail because you're saying it's very simple. You believe in what the Quran ayats are saying against the Bedouins. So if they're lying and making excuses, yet you will be so hard on them. Oh, look, oh, you have believed. Why do you profess that which you do not practice? Greatly hateful in the sight of Allah is that you say what you do not do. Greatly hateful. Surah Tahrim ayat and Surah Maida ayat 87 and Ali Imran ayat against the Jews 47. What is it? Sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm not that good in memorizing the ayat numbers right now in my this condition. What is it? What is it that I have failed to fully make you understand in full? And what was that other ayat I was going to go to? Mujahideen. I'm not good at, maybe I'm not good. Yeah, I have impediments. You can go to ex-Muslim Ahmad. I have these impediments. You're saying, oh, this ayat saves you believers because they didn't make a lame excuse. They didn't lie about the forgiveness part. No, look, we have to take them on their word, right? That they said we're busy. First, look at this. The Bedouins, we're busy with our properties and our family members. So, like, for example, Imam Ali was left behind in the Battle of Tabuk, for the Battle of Tabuk. Why was he left behind? He didn't participate in the Battle of Tabuk. M16, he was left behind, right? Why was he left behind? There's a reason why Prophet Muhammad said, and then the Hadith Manzilat comes. Martin Link's life of Prophet Muhammad, I read. Why was he left behind? Now, they don't want to help the Prophet, yes, right? They're busy. Let's take it this way. They are busy with their families and their, right? And you believers also don't have to go. You can remain at home because not equal are those believers remaining at home. Other than the disabled and the mujahideen who strive and fight in the cause of Allah with their wealth and their lives. Allah has preferred the mujahideen through their wealth and their lives over those who remain behind by degrees. And to both Allah has promised the best reward. But Allah has preferred the mujahideen over those who remain behind with a great reward. Now they were saying, believers, you are allowed to remain at home. What did Imam Hussein say in Karbala? Huh? They want me, all of you leave. I adjure you. Look, so there is a time when the believers can remain at home. Even though the mujahideen, there's a fight. There's a fight. So there are some household businessmen, this and that believers, but they're not equal. They remain at home, minding their business, right? Surah Nisa at 95. I need stronger glasses. My ears are hurting. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, my tea. Breakfast tea. Please. Cold. I have to put it in the microwave. Warm it up. I haven't fully finished my breakfast tea. I haven't had anything, I think, in my stomach but tea. I don't have that much energy, but I'm 16. Sorry if sometimes I say these words. What have I not explained? The believers, I haven't explained it properly. I will try my best. The believers can remain at home. Not all of them, your male believers, Muslim believers, should go to the war, right? Should go to war. Right? So the mujahideen are preferred over these believers who remain at home while there is a war, while it's needed. Like you have a Muslim army and then you have Muslim businessmen, you have those who sit at home, study the Quran. Quran ayats are there, who study the religion. They don't have to go to war, who put their time in studying the religion, Islam, right? So when the Bedouins said that, they were blamed for also, they don't mean it. Yes, the ayat says this, right? That they don't mean it. But did they mean harm to you people? In thought, not in action. They thought you will go to Makkah. Good. Evil thoughts they thought about you. That the houses are restored. You will get back your property. You have conquest of Makkah coming. And Prophet Muhammad didn't even believe it, that he thought politics were going to give him a fight. But they didn't. Abu Sufyan, there was some skirmish on the other side or something. But Prophet Muhammad Abu Sufyan gave Prophet Muhammad the keys. Then they went in the Kaaba peacefully. And they broke the idols and all that, right? That's just before that. The Bedouins were asked, to tell you about the history of that, asked to come with them to help. Surah Fath, Ayat 9, because you worship Prophet Muhammad. because you need to help him. You need to obey him. Bedouins said, sorry, we are occupied. And immediately the thing is put on them that they were lying. First of all, they didn't mean harm to you, but then you said, oh, they think that they will not come back. I don't know how to explain this. Sorry, if you would bear with me. You would not come back. They thought evil thoughts. Okay, they thought evil thoughts. But I think they knew that the polytheists would not give Prophet Muhammad, would not kill him, would not fight with him. Because they had an alliance with the polytheists. And they were sick and tired of this Prophet in Yathrib. So they went to Makkah, yet they came back to Medina, making it their city. What was Treaty of Hudaybiyah? Prophet Muhammad gave the polytheists more so that they would recognize him as the leader of Medina. So for that you're blaming, the Quran ayats are blaming, and you're taking those Quran ayats to mean true against the Bedouins. Right? And then what he's done to you take this as right, you take everything, Surah Hashr, that it was breaking of houses, Allah casting terror in their hearts, just because they opposed Allah and the Messenger. And opposition is a very big word. Because here, even though they thought evil thoughts, did they tell the polytheists to give? They had the power, In Surah Hashr, we're told the polytheists and the Jews of Yathrib had a treaty. Whoever tries to attack us, we will come together, unite, and fight against them. Whoever expels you, even the polytheists went so far as to say, whoever expels you, we will expel us, we will go with you. But in Surah Hashr says they didn't go with them. I wonder why. So the polytheists had this pact with the Jews of Yathrib. Yet they couldn't help the Jews of Yathrib. Anyways, Prophet Muhammad went to Makkah. Conquest of Makkah is there in your Islamic histories. Now just for this, lying, making excuses, you bring them because they lagged behind. See also this, the ayat, right? Because they lagged behind, you will say to those who remain behind, not for their evil thoughts. Anyways, Prophet Muhammad is going to his birth city, and they're going to give it to him peacefully, to even throw their idols. They can establish their homes there, back again, re-establishing. Move from Medina to Makkah, but they didn't. Where they initially came from, Yathrib is not Prophet Muhammad's city. Now when you've got peace there, then you're blaming the Bedouins that they thought evil thoughts, that they will never return to their families. In fact, they should have called their families in Medina and said, now come back to Makkah, you've received your houses, restore your houses, come back to your houses, come back to your city of birth. But they are blamed for this is, what shall I say? I can't find an English word for this. Unjust. Don't you think so? When you analyze, as I have analyzed, not like the Sunnis and the Shias, just leaving the Bedouins on this, halfway, and say, oh, Prophet Muhammad is true. No, exhaust everything about the history also. Read the history now. Read it and see if it makes sense. Yathrib was not his city. In Surah Hashr ayats, I keep screaming out. Why are they making them break their houses? Why are you expelling them from their city? So finally what you did was expel them from the city, didn't you? Didn't Prophet Muhammad do that? Expelling them from the city after they have broken their houses and your Allah has cast terror. For God's sakes, who in their right mind would come to a conclusion like the Shias have come that this is a true prophet and the Sunnis have come that this is a true prophet? For goodness sakes, don't make my mind go, now I've had enough. Okay, sorry, really sorry, M16. I needed to see all sides and closely examine the verses, and I'm showing you how this method I used and why I used this method, because I had to exhaust the Bedouin side and see every action, violent action taken against them, whether it's justified or not. Thank you so much. I will continue later.